Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Automation, the car company tycoon game. My name is Cone Dodger, and we are going to start ourselves another Lite campaign today. This time starting from the beginning of the Lite campaign, so new game. And we will be starting in 1946, which is the earliest you can start a campaign. So this will be a full playthrough. The last one I did was a specialty campaign where we tried to do a very specific company replicating the actual Vector Automotive. This one will be more of just exploring the game and enjoying the Lite campaign. The Lite campaign, from my limited experience now, is extremely difficult. It is not an easy thing to succeed in, and I will be taking this on as just a normal playthrough. So expect there to be some things that I am maybe not as experienced in as others. I do not play automation basically off camera at all, and I do that for the sake of not getting myself burnt out on it. So many people out there want me to do automation content and want to see these videos that I try very, very diligently not to overburden myself with the game and not just, completely burn myself out with it. So if it seems like I'm more inexperienced than maybe you would expect me to be, that's because I am. This will only be my second attempt through the Lite campaign. Now, this company name, that I forgot to name last time, this company name will be named by We Can Game if we want to. I asked on Twitter for the first name you can come up with for the company, and he was the first person to respond with Vanity, which ties back into something else we did in automation a while ago, but we're gonna go with it because it really doesn't matter. To be honest, the company name, this again has no ties to the Vector stuff. Also, the base difficulty is set to hard. I am not going to be playing on that. I will go with a larger starting cash bonus. I am going to make the competition their markup multiplier a little bit easier, this way, Cone. A little bit easier on us. And I am also going to, again, keep myself employed. So I will be on the team. That will help us with engines and engine engineering time in the future. But that is what we will start with. 1946, Vanity, and 0.87 modifier. I think we could go lower than that and stay in medium. So yeah, let's go for a 0.80. 0.80 score modifier, just so that we can have more of a chance to explore a long playthrough here. I would love to be able to do this from 1946 until game end. There is currently, I believe, a game end where there's no more cars to produce. That's just that's as far into the quote-unquote future as you can go. So let's go ahead and start with that. And let's see. We are paused, yes. Let's see what kind of economy conditions we're in. Flat. So, I mean, there's not a ton of history. It's 1946, and we only go back to 1940. So there's not a ton of history to know. Premium, yeah, everything is pretty much flat at this point. Budget, a little bit on the climb. Markets, the delivery stuff is the only thing currently on the incline. Ooh, convertible budgets on the incline. That could be interesting. Commuter cars on the incline. Muscles are on the decline. The premium stuff's on the decline. That is fine. And this looks like a pretty stable economy. This doesn't look like anything major is happening. And I did forget to mention, but you could see that we are in Gizmea once again, which is the American analog, because I'm American and I think I best understand that market. It's not exactly in line with what the real world market is, but it's pretty close. So yeah, 1946, gonna have to be cheap. And the one that really caught my eye there was the convertible budget, and it's like, there's one right here on the list. Two different sizes. Actually, there's quite a few convertibles, isn't there? Oh, what is this? What's the difference between the two? Bumpers. Well, I like the one with the bumpers. That is super tiny. And yeah, that could be interesting. This would be a little early, would it not? 1946. But again, I try I try to separate myself from actual automotive history because we're in a different timeline now. This is not the actual timeline of history, it's just loosely based around it. So if the body is available to us, then I think we should be able to use it. So that's what I'm going to do. The model name, the second person to get in a tweet was Chad, who said Vauxhall Autocorp. So we'll name this car the Vauxhall. There we go. Alright, how much body modification can we do? We can make it super wide. That might be interesting for the future, but probably not the first build. Interesting, interesting. The back can get longer, so we can make it a little bit more practical in that way. Can lay back the windshield a little, that's nice. Oh, that's a cool way to... Whoa, 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 nose. Not too long. Jay, you can change the roundness of the fenders. That's pretty cool. That's a nice touch for the body modification. Alright, we'll go with that. Ladder chassis. Steel. Front longitudinal. Oh, you could do rear longitudinal. That would be a thing. That would be a crazy thing. Could you imagine? No, let's not do that. Let's not go too crazy. I don't want to bankrupt us right out of the gate here. Coil. Single axle coil, I think is where we need to go. I don't want to go too expensive. That's one of the things I seem to struggle with, is not making cars initially that are crazy expensive. I also tend to struggle with 50s, 60s, and even to the 70s car design. But I'm going to try my best here. Alright, nice big headlights. On the fenders? Yeah, I think on the fenders. And prop them up a little. That's not too bad. Design in this era is not super complicated. And I'm not going to limit myself to like Americana design. I'm going to say that our company will make its own design through history. So I'm not limiting it to any kind of real world restrictions. So whatever happens to happen, we'll stick with. A badge, we'll stay away from the one we use for Vector. And we'll go with how about this guy? He looks pretty neat. A little stretched. There we go. Alright, let's throw some door handles on this guy. We'll stick with the chrome theme since there's quite a bit of chrome on the car. Looks like it's one of those big, you know, the whole front opens. I like those hoods. Those are neat. And it's a clamshell. Yeah, it would open frontwards. Very neat. Alright, for the back, taillights, something simple. These, oh, I forgot to put indicators up front. Indicators. How about these? Yeah, that works. Those still look stretched, or the badge still looks stretched. There we go. Fixed. And the back, taillights, we'll go with that same look. That wasn't it. Where were they? There they are. Chrome lipped. Nice, okay. And do we really need indicators? In this era, we can get away with just using the taillights as indicators, I believe. So let's do it. Keep it sleek looking, and a license plate cutout. There we go. And that will about do it. I don't think we can put tailpipes on this because of the bumper. It would be the under bumper style muffler. Easy enough for me to say. It's okay. I'm not 100% sold on the headlights, but they might grow on me. It's going to be a simple car. Simple. Do we like the red? Should we stay with the red? Go for a dark blue? A green? Really make it look British? Let's not do that. How about the black? That's good. Like a charcoaly black. That'll be nice. Longitudinal rear-wheel drive. Certainly not 4x4. Engine-wise, it's going to have to be small. It's going to have to be light. Inline 3 or inline 4. Inline 4, I think we'll have more... Will we get familiarity with that? I don't think so. I'm not 100% sure. But just in case, I'm going to stick with the 4 just in case we want to use that in the future. Memory serves me right. We want to use small bore and long stroke. Which way is that? Is that under square? Or is that over square? I think that's under square when you have a long stroke. I commonly get those two confused. But that is because the head needs to be as small as possible so that we don't run into valve float with our push rods. Because we're keeping this very simple, very cheap, and budget friendly, since budget convertible was on the rise. People want them. Super low compression. Cam profile elements in the future. Chrome, yes, chrome valve cover. So 40s and 50s. Single carburetor. I'm guessing it will probably need twins, but we'll see. Regular leaded. Something I'll have to keep in mind in the future is we'll be transferring from leaded to unleaded at some point, but that's quite some distance into the future. Let's say a 5,000 RPM limit. That should be safe. I would hope we'll make more than 56 horsepower, but I'm not sure. Short cast for now. How small will this go? 1.25, that might be enough. And just a baffled muffler. Well, we still ran into some valve float. 60 horsepower, 83 foot-pounds. Alright, well, we're going to need to lose some more displacement here in the bore department. Quite a bit more, in fact. Quite a bit more, in fact. Oh, wait, this is family. Yeah, this is where we want to be. The valve float could be RPM limited as well. Alright, well, let's go into here. 47 is starting to get better. 4,500. Yuck. Gross. But it's 1946. I understand. That is totally believable. Okay, well, it is what it is. It is what it is. 56 horsepower as of now. Hopefully we can put a little bit more compression on. It's something to give us a little bit more power. We do want it to be nice and reliable. So I'm trying to get that valve to show up at least yellow. 54 horsepower. How about some more cam? Okay, that eased up the strain as well. Can we get 60? We cannot get 60 horsepower. Well, in that case, should we be using cast log? That's a restriction. Smaller exhaust? Yeah, we could go with 1 inch. 73 foot-pounds, 56 horsepower. This is going to be a base model, so we could improve on this in the future or with other trims if we have the ability. We will see. Alright, so, well, the trim needs a name. So we'll just call this the base voxel. And this is the Iron 4. It's pure iron engine. And it is long stroked. So that will help me remember what I did as we move forward. So how we looking? 39.7 reliability. That seems like a very low number to me, but I have a feeling the numbers for reliability of engines in this era in like general are super low. So that might be okay. I'll have to... That's displayed somewhere in the campaign menu, like it shows you, but I don't remember where. Oh well. We'll go with that for now, because everything's green. It's not as though there's anything majorly wrong with the engine. We'll have to see if 56 horsepower is enough. Alright, well, manual gearbox is all we have. 3-speed would be nice, if we can afford it. That will be one thing we have to keep track of. Spacing-wise, let's get second to just do 60. Yeah, that makes sense. Right? Probably not. Alright, wheels and tires. Well, these wheels are far too large. Probably 13s. We can put wider tires. Well, I would like to put wider tires. 12s, maybe? The problem with 12s is that the brakes are going to be so tiny. Let's do medium compound. How about these brakes? Super tiny. Let's aggressive up the pads. Pads? Are they called pads? No, shoes. Shoes. Aggressive shoes. No under tray for sure. Virtually no cooling. We want just enough to be reliable. 2 seats. Standard interior. No entertainment. Standard safety. We'll revisit that. Standard twin passive. Boy, there's a lot less things to do in the 40s, that's for sure. A lot less options. We'll do sport. Well, that's an oversteering mess. Okay. Well, we have a lot of rear bar on it. That's less than ideal. The camber's pretty good. There's not too much weight in the front. There we go. That's making it better. Yeah, okay. So that smoothed out the ride. And it's handling pretty well, isn't it? Yeah, it's right on the edge, pretty much. 35 drivability, 9.4 sportiness. Scoring amazing so far in the convertible categories. Price is a little high, I think, but scoring fantastic. So that's a good sign. Let's see. 0 to 60 of 14 seconds. That is extremely acceptable for 1946, I think. Top speed of 103. Yeah. I mean, by today's standards, that seems ridiculously slow, but by 1946 standards, that's pretty quick for a car with 56 horsepower. Markets. Well, not a bunch. There's some options in there, like Fun Premium. Fun budget, but those are probably not very high selling categories. Sport budget, decent. But the convertible ones, not bad at all. Convertible sport budget, 138 score, 60% on the affordability. Convertible, 85 score, 85%. Convertible budget, 140 score, and a 38. So they have very, very small budget there, $5,000. 8,700 in convertible sport budget, upwards of 10,000. Well, I would like to have at least, let's say, a 50% markup. We're going higher than 50. So yeah, at least a 50% markup. And we're still green there, but it possibly needs maybe a trim the other way. What's convertible's budget? 12,000. Down to 6,000. That's an interesting one. These guys are in the 8,000. So this car is like right, in my opinion, on the money as far as affordability goes, as far as their budget goes. But for some reason, it's not scoring particularly well at affordability. There must be some stout competitors here. As I was worried, the brakes have a hard time keeping up. That they do. I could throw quality on it to make them better. That's only going to hurt our affordability. Actually, I mean, it hurts it, but not in a significant amount until you get above the 1 there. So let's keep that. What else could we do besides bigger wheels? Bigger wheels means smaller tires. That's a conundrum. Boy, that makes some weird handling characteristics right there. So you can go 110s with these, but you would get more brakes. It's good and all, but it doesn't actually improve our scoring very much. 114. Very interesting. Alright, so doing the comparison, the overall scores are better with the bigger wheels than they are with the bigger brakes. The question is, sports compounds? Not looking to be super worth it. 112 versus 113, so it makes it a little bit pricier. So it would hurt it in the other categories. Is it worthwhile making a super stripped down budget version of this and a slightly more expensive version of this? Like basic, what does that do? Yeah, it makes it more affordable in the other categories. That might be worth it. How much do they care about safety? Not in the least. They could not care any less about safety. Well, away it goes, I guess. It gives it like 2 points down on the desirability, but significantly improves. Does it improve the affordability at all? It doesn't, really doesn't. Ooh, that's a tough call then. Game, why do you have to make these decisions so hard? All right, well, let me change these to convertible sport budget and just convertible, because I think it's scoring better in convertible than convertible budget. So let's look then at things like a radio. Not a huge help. Let's look at things like safety. Nope, they like the safety and convertible. All right, standard. Standard versus basic. Okay, they like the standard more. All right. Well, that might be where we settle with this. For funsies, I'll do this away from camera, but I will make myself a how cheap can I make this car version just to see if we can score better in the other categories. Probably not, but we'll see. Alright, so this guy, super cheap, shorter stroked, only 1 liter. It has an eco carb on it instead of a good carb, which somehow still only gets it, well, actually it gets it 29.6 miles per gallon, which is very good. And 41 horsepower. The biggest changes are the speed of the thing, 30 seconds, 0 to 60, so it's more of an around town kind of car. And the biggest surprise, though, how much better it does in the convertible sport budget and convertible, the plain convertible markets. So it gives us some variability with this car. I think the regular one, the base model, this one would come around for us if markets improved, if people ended up having more money than expected or more money than right now. By the time we got this car produced, this one would probably come around. So let us go with that. I think that is a good way to go. We'll move forward here. We'll get an error from the game and we'll say, yes, we'll report it and move on. Who are you? I don't remember having you. Who are you? Okay. That might be slightly bugged. We'll just ignore that he is there. And let's see here. There's no car to choose. So that's confusing. What is going on? Game broken. Game is confused. Everything's fine. Don't panic. I'm panicking. I'm very panicked right now. Oh, come on. What are you doing, game? Need I restart you? Is that what needs to happen? Well, let me make sure it's saved. Yes. Let's save. And yeah, I guess I'll restart it real quick. Okay, alright, everything's fine. No need to worry. A little restart fixed it. Seems like it got, like, mixed up between campaigns or something there. I don't know what was going on. I don't know where that guy came from. But, let's see. The difference... Section quality. Alright, we used some negative quality on the super cheap 0 quality elements, I believe. I don't know, we used 1 on the brakes. None of these numbers are very high. It's actually the chassis that takes the most engineering time. Interesting. So, yeah, we'll do full on both. 2 years, 8 months. That's not too long at all. How's the engine? 1 year, 12 months. Very, very little time on both of these. Well, the good news is we can crank the reliability up on the engine. And I think what I'll do is I'll crank the reliability on the engine to 2 years, 8 months. And then go back to the car, increase the funding on it a little bit so that we can increase the reliability of the car a little bit too. So they're both at 2 years and 8 months. Alright, and moving on there. Bottom end was the highest, top end still not too shabby. Alright, so now decisions. We got to buy a plot in Gazmea. I would like to buy a large plot. That's 309 million. The plan is to have another car, like, in design process by 1947. Might be 1948. So we're going to need some space, because I would like to make like a regular commuter car too. I just want to get a better idea as what the market is doing before we make that plunge. Let's do the large. What? And oh, okay, there we go. It's confused again. And let's do a large engine factory as well. Now we need to choose the size of these. Let's do medium and medium. Because I think I'm going to try and make quite a few of these. And we'll leave all this stuff default. So as of now, 77, 74. We're probably going to have to adjust this. I think we'll sell a lot less base models. So we'll do one of these numbers. But we can adjust that in the future. Less shifts overall, because I don't think we're going to need quite that many cars. Alright, match to the cars. There we go. And our pricing, the base, again, scores decently in convertible sport budget. But again, this is the car I think will come around. It will eventually be a good convertible sport, I believe. I think, maybe. And then the other one, super cheap. After everything's said and done, does good in all three of those. Alright, so at the end of the day, the super cheap might be the car we end up with. So that's a possibility. Difficulty readjustment. We could, as of right now, adjust the difficulty to try and make it more feasible at this point. But I don't know that I see the need. Approximate sales. As of now, we'd be selling 7.8 of 8.1. 6. No. Wait. I think we'd be selling as many as possible there. I'm not sure. Yeah, we would be selling 8.1 of 7.8. We'd be selling more than people even thought they would buy. I believe that is what I'm reading right now. Well, that ain't too bad, is it? And we'd even sell one in sport budget. All right. I'm pleased with that. I think we'll go ahead and move forward to this screen where we see our demands as expected, as unexpected. Oh, that's just because I'm still producing too many of them overall. So it does look like we'll need to adjust these guys out. So let's get them to be even. This will all need to be adjusted in the future. And we did want to mark up the base some more, though. So that will change that split again. All right. So 0.27 as of now, so we're going to need virtually no shifts. Hopefully that number will rise in the future. Hopefully. There's a lot of hoping there. As of right now, how much would this cost us? $894 million. So that's doable. That's less than half of the money we have available. So that leaves us another $1 billion to do our next car, which would be, in theory, a more highly produced everyday commuter car. In theory. I'm not 100% confident in this, because this car, its profit is not going to be huge. We'll really have to hope that the economy comes around to it and doesn't work away from us. But that is the risk we are saying we are going to take. I think there's nothing else we can do but to take that risk. Take a risk. Do you wish to skip to when the car enters production? I actually do not. That would be normal, but I think we will not in this case. Because we're going to want to start another car into production fairly soon. And that is what we'll do next time. We'll move forward to, say, 1947, and that is where we'll start engineering, or start designing, our next car, which would probably be a sedan. That would make sense. In fact, let's go ahead and give it the year, and we'll give you a preview of what's going on with the markets and economy as we head into 1947. Okay, pause. How is it looking? Yes, the economy is on the rise. That is good. That is very good. Normal cars are on the rise. Luxury cars are on the rise. Even commercials on the rise. The only thing that's on the fall is budget. So hopefully we're coming in right at the beginning of a nice economic surge that would really be beneficial to our startup company. We're going to hope that this car, this little convertible, sells and gives us some reputation, because reputation is a very hard thing to overcome. So that will be important. Average reliability of cars is 50.3. I believe ours was higher than that. I'll have to go back and look. But that will do it for today. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time with, I guess, a normal sedan. But if you have other ideas, let me know.